You like metal? Like iron or aluminium or, in certain countries, aluminum, not to name names? Glares at America. Hello my little worms, I'm Dei, and welcome back to Dei Completes Arknights, this series in which I try to actually make progress in the Arknights story, one level at a time. But currently it's Lingering Echoes event version, where we're trying to make our way through the Lingering Echoes event, also one level at a time. The only problem being that there's quite a few levels, and I've only got 4 days to do it. So, uh-oh. And the level we're tackling today is LE-4. Surprise! just surprise? Like, haven't like all the other ones been named after like songs and stuff? It's like, this one's just the word surprise. Huh, interesting. Quiet please, ladies and gentlemen. Loud though that was, it's no cause for alarm. Doubt. This seems concerning. Why do I immediately assume it's going to be like an explosion or something? And now it's time for us to start this level. My team is probably still fine, as I keep saying. I'm not gonna change it up. Who needs to change things anyway? It's pointless. It's easy levels. Ah, yawning. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm very tired right now. You know, I feel like that genuinely did become an actual yawn partway through that. Coming, I'll be right there. Ah, hibiscus. Hibiscus? Good morning. You're up early today. It's barely light out. Where's Ebenholz? He's still asleep. Your eyes are all bloodshot. Did you stay up all night? Wake him too. Hurry. What's going down? Hibiscus, what's going down, Hibiscus? Hibiscus! False recovery. I have no idea what you're trying to say. That the people aren't actually recovering and being better, they're actually getting worse, but they only seem like they're getting better, would be my assumption, Ebenholz. Do you really not understand me, or are you just... Fine, I'll explain it one more time. This time for, to the audience here. The reason I came to the Afterglow was to investigate why the infected people here were suddenly getting better. But according to our visits over the last few days, the infected here in the Afterglow are not getting better, but exhibiting something called a false recovery. In other words, the patient's condition appears to be getting better, but in reality is taking a turn for the worse. See, I was right. Why would they appear to be improving, then if they're getting worse? Let me explain it another way. Generally speaking, whenever the body is injured, the best outcome is for it to return to its original state. If it is unable to return to its original state, the body will mobilize its non-damaged parts to cover for the functions lost through the injury, a process we call compensation. Right now, most of the infected in the Afterglow have activated their body's compensation functions, causing them to appear to be in very good shape. But inside them, where the eye cannot see, the severity of their oropathy is rapidly getting worse. At the current rate, a certain cohort is about to enter the decompensation stage. Oh no, decompensation? Once the extent of the damage exceeds the body's maximum ability to compensate, the fragile equilibrium is broken, and the patient quickly lapses into the acute exacerbation stage of oropathy, where their condition deteriorates sharply and becomes life-threatening. Oh no! Actually, there are already people starting to enter the acute stage. Oh no! How? I get the gist of what you're talking about, but what does this have to do with... Wait, are you saying that Creed is at risk too? No. Alright, good. That isn't the problem. Based on an analysis of our findings, so, you and Creed seem to be the primary factors behind this occurrence. Interesting. So it's the voice of the mundane thing is potentially doing something about this? Creed and I caused all of this? That's complete nonsense. After analyzing your activities and movements, I've confirmed that you, or maybe something you're carrying, is strongly correlated with the incidence of false recovery. It must be like the voice of the mundane thing that's been mentioned they both have. For example, the worker in the laundromat beside your residence said the day before that she felt especially good. Her condition worsened dramatically last night, and she was nearly taken to hospice care. I urge the two of you to cooperate with me. If you have any leads, please let me know right away. This is for the safety of everyone in the Afterglow. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on, Ebenholz, you so know what's going on here. You can't think of anything at all? Nothing's coming to mind. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Suspicious. Can the two of you come down to the office with me and let me check something real quick? Just in case. Suspicious. 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 Judging by the markers, one of you is a completely healthy man, and the other is in the stable phase of autopathy. How could this be? No idea. Hibiscus. This time it's the owner of a music shop behind Afterglow Hall. How's the situation? Thankfully, he signed an agreement with the hospital in the cliffy patio and has already been picked up. Another case of false recovery? That's right. Just yesterday afternoon, he reported no discomfort whatsoever. Damn. I'll go follow up, just to make sure the hospital doesn't find a way to, renege, is that? On the agreement. I think that's the word renege. I don't know. Those two. They're giving me so many words, and I'm like, I've never actually had to say the word myself. I'm vaguely familiar with the word, but I never had to speak it out loud. I'll handle it. Then I'll be off. I have to ask again. Is there anything you can think of? They already said no. Every moment is the difference between life and death. So please. How about this? Ebenholz, why don't you come with me first? Let's have a chat about this. Creed, would you mind waiting a bit inside? So now you're going to separate them and discuss it with them individually? Why'd you drag me out here by myself? I apologize in advance if this comes off the wrong way, but I want you and Creed to keep some distance from each other. The sooner, the better. But they need to perform together. They can't really be that separate. Why are you telling me this and not him? Do you suspect that I purposely called this so-called false recovery? No. Are you sure, though? Are you sure? I feel like he's not purposely doing it, but I still feel like it's probably the voice of the mundane that you are aware of, dude. You're not speaking up about it. You bastard. If only it were that simple. I'd be able to hand you straight to the Weisheim authorities, and that'd solve the root of the issue. But the incidents of false recovery started before you arrived, and Andante was the one who noticed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to the Afterglow, or even to Weisheim. Then why did you say that? Before I came, what about Creed? The phenomenon of false recovery began right after he arrived in Weisheim. After he arrived in Weisheim? How could that be? It was at roughly the same time Creed arrived in the Afterglow. The indicators from a portion of the infected here began to gradually improve, but his effect on the infected was so minuscule at the time that nobody else noticed except the thorough and careful Andante. After the two of you met at the registration, Creed's influence suddenly strengthened. Based on the reports Andante submitted to the Rhodes Island landship, the situation would have taken at least half a year to deteriorate to its current state with just Creed alone. After you arrived, in just a few days' time, we have the current situation on our hands. Oh no. ... I need you to explain to me what exactly is going on here. If you don't have an explanation, I'll need you to put things on hold before the situation spins out of control. So, I hope you'll leave the Afterglow and Weisheim as quickly as possible. What about the concert? The concert? That's what matters to you. If the false recovery is caused by some sort of arts, then your ensemble would amplify that. If anything... Wait, could it be that's your... Stop. I'll be frank. I hate nothing more than being unfairly accused. But also, it does seem like you're probably responsible, so I'm just saying, dude. This isn't a problem that can be resolved by respecting your feelings. I know. So give me some time. How long do you need? If things go smoothly, just a few hours. If not, I don't know, but I promise I'll be back. Alright. I'll trust you this once. I don't agree to this. Question mark? Ebenholz worked so hard to perform the concert, and finally managed to win over her Chazani. It would be a travesty if he just walked away at this point. You're missing the bigger picture. We're talking about people's lives here. But... Ebenholz? Ebenholz, where are you going? Ebenholz! Going to go and confront her, eh? You look like you're all out of breath. Did you run the entire way here? I'd urge you not to seek me out in this manner. The risk of being exposed is... Exposed? Things are starting to go pear-shaped, and that's what you're worried about. I want to ask you something. Does the resonance from your so-called voice of terror have any effect on other people? The resonance? No. As long as it is not deliberately directed, the voice of terror's resonance should not affect others in any way. Then why did Hibiscus see me and Creed as the source of the false recoveries? Hibiscus? A Rhodes Island operator dispatched to Weisheim. So Rhodes Island has termed this phenomenon false recovery. A clear and concise description, as you'd expect of such professionals. You knew about it after all? If you're talking about the anomalies that have been happening to the infected in the Afterglow recently, then yes, I do know. What exactly is going on? Stated simply, the voice of terror within Creed is damaged. Oh no, damaged? When you cast arts, the voice of terror inside you will activate, therefore assisting you, correct? Yes, I do hear a faint, shrill melody as I'm casting arts. How can something like that be damaged? Creed's voice of terror has always been in active state, unlike how you were able to turn yours off. In other words, he's been unconsciously casting arts all around him with no ability to control it. That does seem quite concerning. If you ask him, he'll probably tell you that he's always been able to hear some sort of vague melody in his head. You can understand this phenomenon as leakage. This false recovery is a product of the voice of terror's leakage, indiscriminately increasing the activity of Erignium in the surroundings, using the power of Erignium to heal the nearby infected. However, the source of healing energy is taken directly from the Erignium within the body of each infected, using the infected themselves as arts devices, using the Erignium inside their bodies to enhance their compensatory functions. This is the false recovery caused by Creed's voice of terror. Creed has been in this state for a long, long time, continuously affecting the infected around him. If this has been going on for so long, someone should have figured it out by now. The credit for that goes to you, Ebenholz. Me? Resonance. Resonance amplifies the leakage of Creed's voice of terror, which is causing an explosion in... Hey, I was right, it is an explosion! In the recent cases of false recovery? That's the situation, yes. Alright, I see exactly what's going on now. I hereby withdraw from your plan. Freedom is at your fingertips, and you're going to give it up just like that. I mean, you might end up killing all the infected in this infected-like city or whatever. This does seem a little concerning. I'm not crazy enough to buy my freedom with the lives of an entire swath of infected. You've been shaken by that woman from Rhodes Island. This false recovery is indeed not a good thing, but your concert with Creed is just a few days away. After a few days, your voice of terror will be removed, and then you'll leave Weisheim. Nobody will even notice that we're short of a few infected. But also, didn't you specify that you're going to, move that voice of terror into Creed, which would then, amplify Creed even more, which then would not solve the problem, would it? At all. Sus. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you walk away now, Graf Urtika's shadow will follow you your entire life. Is that what you really want? No, but I won't do that either. Goodbye, Dame Gertrude. Where are you going? None of your business. Oh no, your footsteps sound rather unsteady. Are you getting a headache? I already told you. It's none of your business. Goodbye, Ebenholz. And here we are. Okay, so we've got two separate paths, one going through there, one going through up there. It's probably nice having two. Alright, what do we want to do with this? If we just put you here facing forward, you won't disrupt the flow at all, which is helpful. If we try to do the same sort of thing on the top one, it's not going to work. So I'll put you also here for now. What do I do with this top one? Because if I put someone here facing this way, it's going to cut off this end bit, which just seems problematic. The alternative is that I put someone on this facing in this direction, which means that they'll not be able to be the most effective. I'm tempted to do something like this. They'll still be able to hit the people that they're blocking, but I don't know. It just feels like I don't want to necessarily get rid of what's happening at the back here. Is there anywhere where turning one of these up or something is going to be helpful? It feels like with these positions, I don't really need them to turn at any point. Well, I definitely need someone stronger to actually be defending this position, so let's put you down there for now. If we do this, we can heal both sides, so I'll do that for now. That seems like alright. And now they're starting to go up there. Ooh, pretty strong units they're sending up through here. I don't want to accidentally turn it down through there, though. Alright, let's do that to not change it at all. And now I want to put you here, maybe? I'm not sure if that's going to be effective. There's nowhere I can hit both, is there? A violinist. Attack can travel a long realigned flux. Ooh. So your attacks travel along the thing and hit everyone who's in it? Oh no, now I see why this is a problem. Oh god. What do I do about that then? Because all three of these are going to get hit by those attacks, aren't they? Oh crap. If I put someone here facing upwards, I'll just send it up through there as well, and then, that'll cause even more problems. Oh crap. Also, someone just got through apparently. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to have to now restart this. Alright, we're back to around the sort of area that we were before, I think, because the violinist is just coming through. Alright, so I've tried to slightly change the positioning this time. I'm now mostly trying to avoid having everyone on the actual flux, instead of trying to actually get everyone on it, because it shouldn't cause too much problems. Like, Blaze won't necessarily need the SP recovery once she actually gets her ability up. So it will hopefully be mostly fine. She is taking quite a bit of damage there, though. But yes, I'm just trying to avoid leaving a giant line of people that can all be hit at once. Because that does not seem like that would end well, if I'm being perfectly honest. Ooh. Could do that. The problem is then, all three of those can be hit if I put you here, and you won't be able to be healed, so I don't know if that's a good idea. Probably not then. Is there a better position for this? I put you here? Alright, let's do that for now. So now you can help with this. I still need Blaze to get their ability activated, but the problem is it's going so slow. It would have been better if I could have had the... I don't need those right now. If I had the flux light on them for like a second, so I could do it, so they could get the ability up and then cut it off. Technically, it's still possible, because if I removed, like, Texas, who's behind my head right now, that would technically put it back on them, but it hopefully wouldn't be necessary right now. Alright. So yeah, you're attacking there. You've still got another 10 enemies coming through. I don't know if we're going to have any more violinists. Yes, there's another one. Alright, and yep, the ability is now up. You can now be a bit more effective. There's no flux there, though. I would love to put Serta, like, here and do this right now, but the problem is that, like, Serta's ability is going to take too long to actually get up, so it's not really worth doing without the flux in the right spot. That is indeed quite problematic, isn't it? We can put, like, Dusk up here to assist with the killing of those right now. There's only a few enemies left. We should be mostly fine. So that'll get finished now. I will now put you here, so you can provide more assistance with that. Only 2 more left. We should be good. Wait for it. Snap. You can only hit them. Finish them. Finish them. And stop hitting them and hurting all them back there as well. At least they have passive healing, so they're mostly fine. I don't seem to be doing anything to them. Like, that did something amount of damage, but it's just like, you were hitting them over and over again. They really do not seem to be taking much damage. Attack you with this. There we go. Mission accomplished! Ooh. She's insane. Absolutely insane. That's an entire district of people we're talking about. Indeed. Besides, does she really think she can come away clean from an incident of this scale? If I went along with her plan, I'd be the first one to take the fall. Even though I'm losing this opportunity, there's nothing to feel bad about. I'll have other opportunities. I can afford to wait. I made it to Weisheim's customs office. Just as Ebenholz is about to enter the customs office, an intense headache nearly knocks him off his feet. Oh no! He's been tripped over. A coward on the run. I don't need you telling me what to do. Even if I die in Urtica, I don't want to become a murderer like you. You fear. You are afraid. If you are ensnared by fear, then never in your life shall you taste freedom. Shut up! Naive idiot. Call me whatever you want. Do you think that a woman can get you out of here so easily? Question mark. Concerning. Good. It doesn't look like there's anyone here. I just need to be extra careful and make sure nobody sees me. What's he doing? Just a little farther, and I'll be in the uninhabited plate on the edge of the city. I don't know what he's up to right now. Were you seriously planning to jump off the edge of a nomadic city? Hello again, Gertrude. While that is technically the quickest way out of Weisheim, I would advise against it. Don't force my hand, Gertrude. I have no intention of doing that. Then leave me alone and get out of my sight. Where do you plan to go? Weisheim will continue to move until the concert comes to an end. You have nowhere to go. Even if you risk life and limbs to force your way out, only the barren wastelands await you. I'd rather step into the uncharted wastelands then. You'd rather die in the waste than spend another second in Weisheim. Correct. I understand how you feel, but can you calm down first and let me finish? What more do I need to hear from you? Do you really want me to reveal everything to you right here, my dear Graf Urtica? Graf Urtica. You don't need to emphasize my title. I know what you're trying to say. And we're back here, I guess. First of all, I promise that under the current conditions, our plan can still proceed smoothly. It's not our plan, it's yours. If your semantic games allow you to sleep better at night, then so be it. Creed's voice of terror is damaged, and Rhodes Island has also discovered its side effect. Can a damaged voice of terror cancel out another one? Even if it could, would Rhodes Island turn a blind eye? Indeed, Creed's voice of terror can still join in resonance. As for Rhodes Island, where do you think we are? This is Weisheim, my domain. That little Fräulein Hibiscus is also an infected. Even letting her step into how was I pronouncing this before? Lithanian? I think I was saying Lithanian, there you go. Is only to keep up appearances with Rhodes Island. She can go nowhere but Weisheim. In any case, she only knows that there's something going on with you and Creed, but she doesn't know how it's happening. She has no evidence. I understand you don't have the heart to bring harm upon the infected who have nothing to do with this. The way I see it, this compassion is extraneous. But if you truly wish to act upon it, it is even more important that you carry out the plan. Carry out the plan and let all those infected people die. I'll tell you the rest of the plan then. You and Creed will duet, and you will remove your own voice of terror. Afterwards, I'll create some commotion in the concert hall, and take advantage of the chaos to kill Creed and disguise his body as yours. What did you say? As he has become the biggest scourge of the Afterglow, it is impossible for him to live on. Impossible for what? Don't be ridiculous. The biggest scourge of the Afterglow is none other than you. As I said before, all the scourges of the Afterglow come from Creed's corrupted voice of terror. Resonance exacerbates the leakage of the voice of terror in an irreversible process. Even if you were to plummet off the edge of this nomadic city, Creed's voice of terror would not return to the relatively harmless state it was in a week ago. More importantly, the voice of terror isn't just harming the people around Creed, it's also hurting him. He is the biggest victim of the resonance between you two. He may seem perfectly healthy right now, but don't be fooled. That is just another example of false recovery. Creed's body may have adapted to the voice of terror in the past, but with the recent surge of leakage, this delicate balance is about to be thrown upside down. An optimistic estimate is that his good days will come to an end within 2 weeks. After that, he will experience the intense suffering that occurs in the acute phase following the false recovery phase. The happiest ending for both him and the Afterglow would be for him to die during the concert. For you, for me, for the Afterglow, and for him, it would be a good thing. I wouldn't obtain a trump card I could pull out at any time. The Afterglow would obtain peace. Creed would obtain his rest. So I think I said wouldn't instead of would, but oops. And you would obtain your freedom. Graf Urtica, rightful heir to Lithanian, the last of the Witch King's bloodline. Freedom. For as long as I can remember, I've never known freedom. Poor child. No courtesy or greetings are needed. Just listen to me. Even though you were born into a distant branch far from the Witch King, you were indeed the last of his bloodline. Out of pity I will not trouble you. Beyond that, you shall also inherit the fiefs passed down from generation to generation in your family. You will become the Lane Sher of Urtica. You will learn to take responsibility for your own subjects. You are about to take a completely different path from that of your disgraceful kin. I await you. This was my first memory. I was around 5 or 6 years old at the time. I can't remember from before that. I only vaguely remember coming into contact with a strange thing called the Voice of Terror, and nearly lost my life. Staring at the pure white dress in front of me, I was filled with thoughts that I'd become some obscure little aristocrat. I thought I'd live the rest of my life in peace, with the exception of the occasional headache and the auditory hallucinations from the Voice of Terror. But I guess not. Your illustrious highness, you should know to mind your words and actions, and to not leave the spire without good reason. I must remind you, everything that you are has been bestowed upon you by their majesties. Your illustrious highness, aren't you forgetting something? You ought to praise their majesties before you eat. Your illustrious highness, we will be learning a new piece today. This song expresses the gratitude of the nobles towards their majesties. Please keep that in your heart. Your illustrious highness, your mastery over Rignium arts is simply transcendent. You want something more elaborate? You need not wear yourself out. Everyone around me did everything they could to limit my freedom, instilling in my mind an allegiance to the twin empresses. If that was the price for being able to live in peace and quiet, I was willing to pay it. I paid it for a very long time. Your illustrious highness, I shall be frank from the onset. You are the true heir to Levanian. I've been laying in wait in your spire for a number of years now. I'm sure you recognize me. You don't have to say anything, just listen to me. You don't have to agree with me, or, what is this word? Repudiate. I don't know. Repudiate? Maybe. Me. I know that you're scared, that you don't want to lose even this life you have now, but you should at least know how these people see you and what they want you to do. I'm sure you know that the attendants, the tyrants have forced upon you, are setting up the banquet below. I will take you there and let you see the truth. The one in front of me grabbed me and pulled me up off the ground. My palm was drenched in sweat. Now that's the good stuff. I had no idea you had such exquisite wine down in the cellar. You flatter me. Urtica's countryside lacks just about everything, but there are indeed a number of master winemakers here. Then we've got to make sure to drink our fill before the little runt grows up. Can't be leaving any for him. Haha, that simply won't do. The boy has been under house arrest for a number of years, but I'm looking for the right time to teach him how to drink. I'll have to fill him until he's a hopeless alcoholic. I was entranced for a short while. You will become the Lane Sher of Urtica. Oh, so you still have that trick up your sleeves. Once the rut has been completely soaked with wine, it'll be a load off their majesties. Shh. Yes, right. Screw me, mate. Guess I'll have to repent with another glass. You will learn to take responsibility for your own subjects. But remember, these words don't leave the wine table. We can't allow the boy to have heirs. That's the order from on high, with my life on the line. If it's that big of a deal, why don't you find an apothecary? That won't work. It'd leave a paper trail. Only by letting him usher his own downfall will my task be considered complete. Ambitious, truly ambitious. Come, let us drink to that. Oh, ho, 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 ho. You were about to take a completely different path from that of your disgraceful kin. If I can get rid of the boy without getting my hands dirty, then Urtica will be mine. I'll drink to that, Prost. Prost! Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Did you hear that, boy? This is the peaceful, easygoing life you wanted. And we've returned. Eben Holes. Eben Holes? You fell over on the spot. I almost had you sent to the hospital. Feeling a little better? I'm perfectly fine. About the plan. I don't want to hear it right now. I'm going. As I said, you can leave at any time. Don't come pestering me again. Well, you'll have to forgive me for being bad at following orders. Dots. Welcome back. Your complexion looks terrible. What's wrong? Did you get sick? I'm fine. You sure don't look fine to me. Go rest in bed and I'll boil some water for you. There's no need. Relax. I used to take care of Grandpa when he first got sick. Just lie down and let me handle the rest. If you don't get any better, I'm going to tell Hibiscus. I'll be right back. Graf Vertigo endures a splitting headache and lies there in bed. His consciousness gradually blurs. Have you considered telling Creed that he's going to get killed? Or that he's the cause of any of this? I don't, he'd probably cancel the concert if he knew. But I don't know. Depraved maggots. They would destroy your exalted bloodline. Shut up. Ugh. Self-deprecating trash. ... The sound of a cello comes from afar. The sky is blue and fine. Very bright. His headache is no less intense, but the voice in Graf Vertigo's head is drowned out by the melody from the cello. A wave of reprieve washes over him. The breeze lilts by in song. This melody sounds somewhat familiar. His splitting headache makes it impossible for him to gather his thoughts, but he feels he has heard this melody somewhere before. The river murmurs clear. Where have I heard this before? Where? My heart. You're awake! Just stay put for now. Hibiscus just came over and drew blood when she saw the state you were in. She said there's nothing wrong with your body, but you might be overstressed and worn out. Overstressed. Ha! I heard someone playing the cello just now. Was that you? Yes. Where did you learn that melody? Maybe someone hummed it to me when I was little. I don't exactly remember. When you were little. When you were little. You're that. I'm what? The weakened Graf Vertigo struggles a few times, but nevertheless is unable to crawl out of bed. But those dusty memories within his mind, awakened by the sound of the cello, flashed once more before his eyes. Yeah, and I guess we are done with that. Very interesting. I wonder where he was going with that. I guess we'll have to find out in the next level. Well, we definitely learned a lot of very important information in that level. So, Krida is the one responsible for the false recovery thing that's going on. Ebenholz was amplifying that, but now it's like stuck amplified even if he goes away. They're planning to kill Krida, which is like, that's interesting. But also, it kind of feels like that's probably not going to actually happen. So, I'm wondering where this is all going. There's only one way to find out, and that is in the next episodes, of course. Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel for more content like this? Ring that notification bell. It does something, I still don't know what. And follow me on Twitter for updates and to see my thumbnails in a larger size, as well as announcements of streams, whenever those happen. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next level, which is apparently another Just Story one without an actual level attached, so no, just reading. No. Anyway, goodbye everybody, and roll the outro.
I gave that bastard what he deserved. A funeral. Fit for a king.